Are you tired of the same old predictable stories in Western media? Are you looking for a story structure that is fresh and unexpected? Then let me tell you about Ki-Sho-Ten-Ketsu, a traditional Japanese narrative structure that offers a unique approach to storytelling. The term Ki-Sho-Ten-Ketsu consists of 4 Japanese characters, Ki, Sho, Ten, and Ketsu. Each of these characters represents one of the 4 parts of the narrative structure. This plot structure is unique in the sense that it does not rely on conflict or resolution. This is very different than Western plot structures like the hero's journey, the 3-act structure, Freytag's pyramid, and Dan Harmon's story circle. Instead, it emphasizes the development of characters and their relationships, as well as the setting and the mood. In today's video, we will explore the 4 parts of Ki-Sho-Tenketsu and discuss why Japanese mangaka have relied on this story structure for centuries. But first, let's hear a word from today's sponsor.
This video is proudly brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore their creativity. Skillshare is the perfect place to get inspired, learn new skills, and put them to work in impactful ways.
You may know Skillshare for classes in photography, film, and video editing, and illustration, but did you know that Skillshare also has hundreds of career-focused classes too? The new year is the perfect time to reinvent your goals and yourself.
For my audience, I highly recommend you check out Skillshare's classes focused on creating comics and manga. There are so many great resources for improving your manga artwork and storytelling abilities.
Right now I am taking the class Draw Manga with Clip Studio Paint, Settings, Inking, and Essential Techniques by Naomosa Matsuda. Matsuda is a professional Japanese manga artist based in Kyoto. He has published several manga titles and judged several manga competitions. He is currently a lecturer for manga universities in Japan and France. In this class, I learned how Japanese manga artists use Clip Studio Paint to create professional manga. More specifically, Matsuda's class taught me how to set up my manga page files, choose the best brushes for inking, and buying keyboard shortcuts. What I love about this class is that Matsuda's lessons are very easy to understand. He is able to convey years of professional experience in an accessible way for beginner artists. If you are an aspiring comic artist, manga artist, or Webtoon artist, then I highly recommend you check out the Skillshare class.
Skillshare is ad-free, so you can stay in the zone while you are exploring new skills. New premium classes launch every week, so there's always something new to discover on Skillshare. If English is not your first language, Skillshare's entire catalog is now available with subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. The first 1,000 people to use the link in my video description and pinned comment will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Take this opportunity to invest in yourself and your goals by becoming a Skillshare member today.
No goal is too small. Thinking about our future can be intimidating. Let's take the pressure off by starting small. Maybe you want to learn productivity tips to power more me time. Maybe the goal is to start building a personal brand style. Skillshare teachers will take us step by step.
Thank you again, Skillshare, for continuing to support the creative community. Now let's get back to the video.
Ki-Sho-Tenketsu is the name of a traditional narrative structure used in Japanese literature. It is particularly used in poetry and drama, but has been widely utilized by Japanese manga artists. It is sometimes described as a narrative structure devoid of conflict. This defining trait sets it apart from Western story structures. What I mean by this is in traditional Western stories, it will usually begin by introducing conflict and building towards a climax. In Ki-Sho-Tenketsu, the story builds towards its major twist. This plot structure originates from China. It then moved to Korea. Eventually, this plot structure made its way to Japan and became known as Ki-Sho-Tenketsu. Ki-Sho-Tenketsu is used throughout Japanese literature, including traditional manga, yonkoma manga, movies, plays, music, novels, and light novels. The concept has also been used in game design. Shigeru Miyamoto has stated that he used Ki-Sho-Tenketsu when designing Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario 3D World. Japanese authors use Ki-Sho-Tenketsu for a variety of reasons. One reason is that this plot structure emphasizes the holistic and non-linear approach to storytelling. Unlike Western narrative structures, which often rely on a conflict resolution model, Ki-Sho-Tenketsu allows for more nuanced character development and exploration of themes. The story emphasizes the importance of the setting, the atmosphere, and the emotional impact of the story, rather than just the plot. Ki-Sho-Tenketsu is also deeply rooted in Japanese culture and aesthetics. The structure is influenced by traditional Japanese arts like poetry, calligraphy, and painting, which highlight the beauty and subtlety of simplicity, balance, and harmony. It also offers a unique challenge and opportunity for writers to experiment with new possibilities in storytelling. By deviating from Western narrative norms, non-Japanese writers can create fresh and surprising stories that defy audience expectations and challenge conventional storytelling techniques. Let's take a look at the 4-act plot structure. Ki-Sho-Tenketsu can be broken down into 4 parts. Ki, the introduction stage. This is the beginning of the story where the setting and characters are introduced. The reader is introduced to your story's world and given information to understand your plot. Sho, the development stage. This is when the story begins to unfold and the plot thickens. There may be complications or conflicts introduced in this section. Ten, the twist stage. This is when there is a sudden change in direction or a surprise revelation. This is the climax in a Ki-Sho-Tenketsu story. Ketsu, the conclusion stage. This is when the story is resolved. This section may provide closure, offer reflection or commentary on the events of the story, or leave the audience with a sense of ambiguity. An example of Kishotenketsu can be seen in Makoto Shinkai's movie Your Name. The movie begins by introducing two characters, Taki Tachibana, a teenage boy from Tokyo, and Mitsuha Miyamizu, a teenage girl who lives with her grandmother and little sister in the countryside. It is quickly established that Taki and Mitsuha have never met before. The two of them inexplicably begin changing bodies without warning, forcing them to live out each other's lives. To manage the situation, they leave notes to instruct the other on their daily life activities. Eventually, they get to understand each other better through their friends, family, and co-workers. The plot revolves around this mystery and building up their relationship until one day the body swapping stops. Realizing that he has feelings for Mitsuha, Taki journeys to find her. He discovers that the girl he had been switching bodies with had died in a natural disaster that happened 2 years prior to the story. Taki finds a way to swap bodies with Mitsuha one last time to alert the townspeople about the upcoming disaster. As a result, they are able to avoid the tragedy. The story resolves with Taki returning to his original body and bumping into Mitsuha years later. If there is one thing that I want you to take away from this video, it is to consider using Kishotenketsu with your own stories, especially if you are not Japanese. Personally, I have always thought Japanese anime and K-dramas were better written than most Western films. This is because Eastern media places less focus on conflict and focuses more on writing interesting characters. If you are an aspiring comic artist, manga artist, or webtoon artist, then looking into Kishotenketsu might be beneficial for you. With that being said, I hope you were able to get some value out of this video. If you did, please make sure to leave this video a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below telling us about your favorite Japanese manga. Remember, you can further support me by following me on all of my social media accounts or commissioning me. Aside from illustration work, I also offer editorial feedback, so if you have ever wanted me to read your comic or manga, this is how you can do it. As always, keep creating everyone. I will see you all in the next one.